You clicked this video because you wanted the real version, not another move south and everything gets better video. Because if you leave Long Island for coastal North Carolina like I did, you're definitely going to miss some things, and these things are real. My job is to help people just like you make the right move. And I needed to record a video that gives you this side of the move also, because the other videos, they're just selling you and they're not helping you, it's just everything is perfect. They're selling you somewhat of a fantasy, but watch till the end and get all the real info you need, because this might be the move for you. I made the move myself. I love my life here. I would do it again. But yes, there are things that I miss and you will miss. The first one is you are going to miss your people. And that's the biggest one. Your family, your friends, the people who know you, the people you can see without making a whole plan. That changes when you make a move here. And that part hits harder than most people expect. Second thing, you're going to miss the Long Island energy. And this move will bring another form of energy that you may like better. If you're from Long Island, you already know what that means. The pace, the sarcasm, the directness, the way people talk, the way you do not have to explain yourself. And down here, life is way calmer, and that is part of the appeal. But sometimes, you miss that edge. But if you have that edge, it'll take you further. Third, you miss the convenience. Long Island feels plugged in. Everything feels close. There's always something going on, somewhere to go, something to do. Down here, life is definitely more spread out and much quieter. For a lot of people, that is better, but it is still an adjustment, but sometimes it's a real nice adjustment. Then there is the other stuff, your favorite sports, concerts, big events. Back on Long Island, that stuff feels really close. Down here, you have to work harder for it, and that may not sound like a big deal, but for some people, it matters once they get here. If I had to watch my Giants, I got the YouTube NFL ticket, just make it work. So why do so many Long Islanders still make the move? Because for the right person, what you gain matters more than what you lose. You're going to get better weather. You get easier access to water. You get more breathing room. You get taxed way less. You get a day-to-day life that usually feels lighter. You get less pressure. And that is why this move works for a lot of people. Not because there are no trade-offs, but because the trade-offs make sense for the right person. And then area matters. Wilmington makes sense if you want, more going on, more restaurants, more activity, more of that city feel. Hampstead fits a lot of Long Islanders because it feels more residential, but you still get boating, golf, water access, and easy reach to Wilmington and the beach. I call it Little Long Island because 4 of my 5 closest neighbors are from Long Island and the 5th is from Jersey. Now, Surf City fits the person who wants the beach to be a part of their everyday life. Porter's Neck works for the buyers who want something more polished and established while, still being close to Wilmington and the coast. And that is why this is not just a Long Island versus North Carolina conversation. It's going to be, based around your desired lifestyle fit. The biggest mistake people I see making is that they only think about what they hate about Long Island or only thinking about what looks good in North Carolina. And that is not how you make a smart move. Sometimes the real questions are simple. Things like, what are you going to miss? What are you ready to let go of? And what kind of life do you actually want next? Because you can buy a beautiful house in the wrong place and figure that out pretty fast. The house will not save you. If the location does not fit your desired lifestyle, you're going to feel it. So no, this move is definitely not perfect like you see on some videos. Yes, you're definitely going to miss some things. But if Long Island no longer fits the life that you want, coastal North Carolina can still be one of the best decisions that you ever make. And that is the real answer. And if you want more answers, I'm here to help you make, all the right decisions, even if the right decision is to stay on Long Island. Now, all my contact information is in the video description. Call me, email me. Let's have a relocation planning call. This move is not for everyone, but for me, the change of pace is really what I was looking for. And a couple of surprises popped up along the way. And I'll tell you a little bit about that on our relocation call. But check out some of my other videos. I have a lot of answers to some of your other questions. And just know, I made the same exact move from Long Island. I got your back. Any questions, call me, text me, email me. I'm here for you. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next video.